Hello everyone, Nick here with the Tipsy Tarot, and today we are going to be doing my October haul. This is all throughout October, and these are tarot decks, oracle decks, and some books, intuitive books as well, that I have gotten in through the month of October. I can't believe October's been over. It is now, the beginning of November, so we're going to get right into it because there are a lot, and I mean a lot of decks that we need to get through. So first, we're going to go with a little splurge that I did, and it is called the Tarot of Ages. Now, this is a tarot deck that is out of print. This was made by US Games, and it was printed in Belgium. I am a sucker for a nice out of print deck. I kind of wish the box was in a little bit of a better condition, but it was definitely a pricey deck because it is out of print. So as US Games used to do, little tiny guidebook in black and white. And then we're going to get right into the Tarot of Ages deck. It is a lot smaller than your classic tarot deck that you see in a lot of Rider-Waite-Smith styles, but this is very Egyptian-like. It's very simple. It follows the Rider-Waite-Smith style. The backs are so cool. They're nice and colorful. And by far, a very interesting deck. I love that it's very Egyptian-like. I feel like it's like cut to the chase. It's going to give you a really nice reading. It's going to be a truthful reading. There's a little bit of nudity involved. So this is definitely an adult deck. As you can see, they're very simple when it comes to the minor arcana, but you know exactly what's going on. So the 5 of batons, there's a competition going on, right? 6 of batons, celebration, and so forth. So it is very interesting to see. And I feel like each court, not only is it Egyptian, but it also follows a little bit of like maybe some Native American involved, other kind of cultures. So Tarot of Ages means, different aged ancestries back in the day. So I think this is a very, very cool deck. So we got it looks like winter going on. So not sure what age this would be, but maybe caveman style. But it is very unique, and I cannot believe they did out of print on this. I hope this deck comes back, but if it doesn't, I'm so happy that I was able to get my hands on it. Very beautiful. So this is called the Tarot of Ages, and this was illustrated by Mario Garizio. I'm going to put it back in its fragile little box. And we'll go right into, so this was a nice splurge. This is a splurge because it was very expensive, and it's crazy because I see the tag right here, and it says $12.95. So it's wild how expensive out-of-print decks can get. So that is the Tarot of Ages. Now we're going to go with the Marea Tarot. This is a deck that I have came across when I was reading the Tarot Sophie book. The Tarot Sophie book, if you don't know what that is, it is a book that was made by Marcus Kratz, and it was to basically make you into a tarot professional. There was a lot of information in that book, a lot of it that I still don't understand, so I'm definitely going to have to go back and read it. But he was talking about the Marea Tarot, or the Marea Tarot, and it is in a beautiful flip-top magnetic box. It has this aquamarine blue to it, and the inside says, "Break out your shell and free your soul." So as I was reading this Tarot Sophie book, it was saying how the Marea Tarot, or the Marea Tarot, is very, very intuitive. The guidebook is very well plotted out. You have a tree of life situation going on in this tarot. So it goes far beyond a lot of what I understand, but it's something that I really want to get into. Sorry if you hear my dog walking around. I have hardwood floors, and my dog likes to click his nails all over the place. But going with the tarot deck, it is very unique in its own way. It is very spiritual. I feel like it's going to really bring out a lot of your intuitiveness. Very nice linen little cloth here, but here's the Tree of Life that kind of shows. And it shows exactly what's going on there. Wow, that's like a linen. That's very nice. And then there is a small print on this. So out of 1,000, I am number 494. 4 is my number. So going into the deck, you have the Fool. The cardstock is this linen finish, that slippery linen finish, that it's not going to go anywhere. The gilding is not edged, or the edging is not gilded, but it is beyond intuitiveness. It is very beautiful. There is a lot of colors going on. It is vibrant. It's different. I feel like that it's going to really bring out your intuitiveness. Here, I'll bring it up a little bit so you guys can kind of see. It is a magnificent deck. This is something that is going to take a while for you to really understand. Here's the Universe, Ace of Wands. Now, this does not follow the Rider-Waite-Smith. This is more of a pip deck. So I want to let you know on that as well. And I feel like a lot of spiritual tarot decks are usually going to be in a pip form. But overall, the artwork is just magnificent. I mean, look at those cups. They look real. Absolutely beautiful. These cards are a little beefy as well, I would say. See, now we're getting into cups, so we got like water. It's just so beautiful. They are bigger though. They are beefy, but like I have big hands, so this will be a lot easier for me to shuffle. But I know a lot of you out there have a hard time shuffling and need like smaller cards, you know, and stuff like that. But overall, this deck is beautiful. It is really going, wow, look at that. Look at the 10 of discs. They're like all runes. Absolutely gorgeous. And then here's the Tree of Life once again. So I think this deck really does base off of the Tree of Life a lot more than a lot of other tarot decks do. I am not familiar with the Tree of Life. I try to understand it. I will be totally honest. I try my hardest to understand the Tree of Life. And there is just so much going into it spiritually, and, you know, having tarot involved in astrology and numerology. It's a lot. It's something where I kind of wish that there was a class made for it, because there's a lot going on in that. So that is the Marea Tarot. All right, next we're going to go into, which I will just do a quick little walkthrough, but this is the Rider-Waite-Smith Halloween Tarot. Now, this is something that I bought on Etsy. I absolutely prefer this Halloween Rider-Waite-Smith deck than the Tarot Collectibles, just because I feel like the quality is actually in this deck. So this is actually made by Matt Green. Matt Green is also the creator of the Green Morangi. Now, this deck does not come with the guidebook, but it does follow the Rider-Waite-Smith to a T, just in Halloween form. You have, you know, some ghosts in there. You got some bats flying around. They're witches in the Three of Cups. They're green. So it does follow the Rider-Waite-Smith to a T. But at the same time, it is just gives a little bit of a Halloween vibe. There's nothing about it that's going to, you know, kind of steer you away from not knowing what the card is, because it is identical to the RWS style. I have been reading with this deck basically for half of October. because October is busy for tarot readers. My schedule has been crazy, and I apologize because I haven't really been making a lot of videos, but holy smokes, I've been doing tarot for birthday parties and Halloween parties and witches' nights out in towns, and it's been hectic. But I've been using this for half of October because it came in probably in the second week of October, and I've had people shuffle with them. I have shuffled with them. This has probably been shuffled over 200 times already, and look how sturdy it stayed. The gilding edge is that orange matte, so those matte edges really don't wear easily, but I will say that it has been really holding up. So I actually have another tarot reading tomorrow, and it's like for a whole birthday party, so it's going to get a lot of love again tomorrow too. So this is the Rider-Waite-Smith Halloween Tarot. Highly recommended if you want something that's on the Halloween side. This has been my favorite, and it's definitely been my workhorse this entire month. So basically this entire month. Now, next, we're going to go into the Millennial Tarot. This is something I have been really, really, really wanting, and it went out of print, and I'm just going to take a drink of my coffee. I'm talking too much. It went out of print. I didn't know when it was coming back. Then I heard it's going mass market, and I am so stoked that I was able to get this in. So this is a beautiful hard box. It is a magnetic, but this is the cool thing about it. You have the cards separated from the guidebook. The guidebook itself is in color. There is some spreads you can do. It is very informative. And it's very funny. It says like the sitch, like what is the definition of judgment? The real talk about the judgment. And then the reverse. And then it says like hashtag moment of truth, hashtag leap of faith, hashtag ego death. It's hilarious. This is a deck that I would have a lot of fun with for like just a birthday party. For anyone that's around my age, because I am a millennial. So going with the deck itself, you have these avocados kind of like in space. And then they are not gilded. They are just probably a little bit wider. The length is pretty good, but it is a little wider than usual, than a normal tarot deck. The cardstock is like this matte, probably 350 GSM. It's going to hold up. It's in good quality. But like you have the Fool, the Millennial, the Tech Visionary, the Magician, the High Priestess is the Festival Goer. Like the Queen is the Etsy Queen. The Empress is the Etsy Queen. Emperor, the Patriarchy. So it's the Tinderess is the Lovers. It's hilarious. It just gives like this like nasty vibe to it. I feel like that if you are wanting to read someone with some sass, you are going to absolutely love this deck. I feel like that it's going to give sass to your reading. It's going to give sass to your Clarence. And I think that it's just a really, really fun deck. The artistry, I don't know if they did like it doesn't look like watercolor, maybe like acrylic, but or everything is kind of on Procreate now, but it's really fun. It's all over the place. Five of Feels. Okay, so we have like the Five of Feels as what? The Cups? Yeah, because cups are emotions. So we have like the Five of Feels. Okay, and it does have like a little cup in there. All right, I can see that. How fun. And then we have the Ace of Thoughts. So I love that. I love that they kind of give you like a short little meaning of whatever that element is going to be. So I love that. And then you have the Pentacle, the Ace of Swag, which makes sense. That's materialistic things. How funny. The Pyramid Scheme. Four of Swag. The Pyramid Scheme. Four of Pentacles. That's hilarious. Super fun. I feel like, again, it's going to, like, I'm looking at this deck and it's just giving me like sassy ass vibes right now. Like, I just be like, nope, you're a sugar daddy. You're being a sugar daddy right now. That is hilarious. I do have a couple sassy decks and I absolutely love them. I actually did a video on some of the most sassiest decks I've ever seen. So definitely check out that video if you're someone that likes sassy things. So this is the Millennial Tarot. I absolutely love this. I think it's just so fun. So fun. Wait, is it on the... What did I do here? Oh, I just switched it all around. I don't know what I was doing. It is kind of more early for me as I'm recording this, so I have my coffee by my side. And the coffee that I decided to choose is because I know that October is over, but I am still on my pumpkin spice cream. Delicious. So next, this is also made by Matt Green. This is the Marseille at Night. I got this because I don't know how to read Marseille decks yet, but I am in the process of learning. There is a deck, which we'll talk about soon, that I'm trying to learn before the Marseille and really like focus on the Marseille. But I just really enjoy this deck. I am someone that likes to put my YouTube and my Facebook and my Instagram and my text messages and my phone all on dark mode. And that's basically what this is. It's a Marseille deck in dark mode. And I think it's a lot of fun. The colors are very vibrant. The card stock is thick. It's going to hold up. And I think that Matt Green is making some great cardstock choices when it comes to his decks. They're going to hold up. And I really enjoy that because no one likes a tarot deck that does not hold up well. It's like you shuffle it 10 times and then it's just like trash. I need something, especially with how I shuffle, I need something a little bit thicker. So I just wanted to do a quick walkthrough on this one. And this is because, there's not really a lot going on with the Marseille, but the color scheme is very different and it's in dark mode style. So absolutely love this. This is so Matt Green's Etsy account is called Printagrams. So definitely check that out. Next, we're going to go into also some super sassy decks. We have, this is by Pine Torch. It is just a company that is on Etsy. It is a independent creator, and I think these decks are super fun. So this is called the Audacity deck. This is an Oracle deck, and it is sassy as hell. This is going to go great with the Millennial. Or any kind of other sassy deck that you have. But you have like the Zero Fox, the Burned Bridge, the two of D's, and there's like D's nuts right there. Like, how funny is this deck? And it's just, she makes t-shirts. And I got this t-shirt, the tea. I think that is great. I think that is so funny. It's like, spill the tea, give me the truth. The truth needs to come out. I'm not sure what that is. You have the mother, the mom boss. It's super fun. The slice, like, give me a slice of that shit. It's just, oh my God, it just brings out more sassiness. I must be in a sassy mood today. The influencer. So super fun. This would go great with the Millennial Tarot just because it is kind of on the Millennial side. And you have the Tower. It's super fun. So I bought this deck on a limb and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try this out. Never heard of this creator before, but I'm glad that I did because it's in great quality. I love the gilded edges and it is just a lot of fun. And then there is the Mom deck. The box is basically very similar. These gilded edges are gold. And these are probably just a tad bit bigger than a playing card size. But you have like the dry shampoo. Now, this might upset some people. Like you have like the fupa and stuff like that. So you know, the pelvic floor. That's hilarious. So it is funny. It's meant to be funny. It might be offensive to some people, so apologies if it is, but it is really, really fun. You have like the meltdown. Everything about this is what moms go through. The passy, the baba, the witching hour, the belly rubs, the cry it out method, the laundry, the shower cry. I mean, if this is what moms go through, I'm sure that my mother went through this when we were little too. You know, having children is just wild. I feel like they are draining in their own way, and it's a different kind of a draining. My apologies if we're starting to get a shadow. The sun is starting to shine on my window, so we're going to get some bright light soon. So it is slowly coming, the bright light. The Ring of Fire. How funny. So this is a very sassy deck. The guidebooks too. I mean, they just go into a little bit of detail on each card, but it kind of like makes a story. So very well done decks. I don't know how I would read with these. I'm going to have to just give it a shot. Sometimes I like to do some like tarot readings on YouTube just to kind of like get myself familiar with the deck, get a feel of the deck, see if I like them. But these are by the Pine Torch, and this is the Audacity deck and the Mom deck. So super, super fun. Now going with some of my favorite. This is my Workhorse deck, and this creator just came out with a standard size tarot deck. I am so fucking stoked. So the normal size is a very beefy big size. This is called the Moon Witch Tarot. I absolutely love this. I'm going to do a walkthrough / haul of all of the Moon Witch. But this is by Cosmic Valeria, and this is an Etsy creator, or she is on Etsy. She does a lot of other things too. It says all answers lie within. She does a lot of other things. She has oracle decks out and stuff like that, but I'm definitely going to be doing a complete haul of her decks because I do have them all. But this is the newest one that I got in for October. The guidebook, it's a chunky guidebook. It's small, it's travel size, it's in color, it tells you the upright, it tells you the reverse. It is very, very descriptive. Each card gets about 2 to 3 pages of information. So definitely keep that in mind of how well this deck is created. There was a lot of work going on in this deck. Going with the cards themselves, I love these cards. These are the most beautiful cards on the planet. You have this glittery gold gilded edge right here. The backs also have this like gold foiling to it on the stars. You have it on the rim. You have the moon. So just keep in mind they are not identical when reversed because of the moon style. But the cards themselves, this is probably one of my favorite decks. I have the bigger size one, and it is I've had it for maybe like 2 years and it still looks brand new. This card stock is thick. It has a great shuffle bounce back. It does not bend. I've already shuffled with this deck several times, and it does not bow or bend or warp. It is amazing. Each card is faceless. There is a lot of gold going on. The letterings are in this gold texture as well. It is a Rider-Waite-Smith style. It gives feminine vibes. It gives truth. Every time I read with this deck, there is some hard-ass truth that comes out for my Quarrents. And they appreciate this deck. It is look at that. Oh my gosh, that deck. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And with the sun shining in my window right now, I mean, you can really get a feel of this deck. It is absolutely beautiful. I make sure that I always have a backup just in case. But the only thing is that, like, so when I read tarot, I have a tarot deck, Workhorse deck, which right now recently has been, especially with like the Halloween going on and stuff, has recently been the Rider-Waite-Smith Halloween deck. And that's what my Quarants shuffle with. And then I use my Moon Witch. And this Moon Witch deck is for me. This is my clarifier. This is only for me to touch. No one else can touch this deck. That's probably why it's also been in really good condition. I do jumping cards for my clarifications, and it just holds up super, super well. I absolutely love this deck so much. I just love feminine vibe decks too. But it's just so well thought out. The quality is there. You definitely pay for it. I mean, but I think it's a pretty decent price for what she's offering it for. I love that 10 of Cups. I just love that 10 of Cups. It's just, this deck altogether is just, it's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite deck. And I'm so happy that she came out with a normal size tarot deck now. Because I want to say the original size of this tarot deck was like a 3x5. And that was a lot. It was wide, it was big. I have big hands so I can shuffle it, but a lot of people would have had a hard time, especially if you are someone that wants to jump these cards. So this is the Moon Witch Tarot. I absolutely love this deck. I highly recommend it, up and down. I'm going to do an entire walkthrough / haul of all of her decks. They're just amazing. I love her deck. So I have gifted this to many people too, and they also use this as their favorite deck. And there's just not a bad thing I can say about this deck. So this is the Moon Witch Tarot, and this is by Cosmic Valeria, and you can definitely check her out on Etsy as well. Now we're going to go into a Kickstarter deck that I just got in, and that is called the Gothic Literature Tarot. It is in a book form, so I do have this on my bookshelf, and it's a beefy one. It's got this rose petal finish to it. It is a magnetic flip top. In the inside, it says, "In the depths of the night, where shadows dance with secrets, lies the heart of the soul, where every turn reveals mysteries untold, and every card whispers tales of darkness and redemption." Going with the guidebook is very beautifully done. It is pretty beefy. It is very informative. You have upright meanings, you have reverse, you have why they decided to create the deck the way that they did. You have a quote. There's a different quote for each card, and it is very, very nice. It even has that rose petal finish to it. It is a very nice guidebook to have. Going with the tarot deck itself, the inside of the box, it's okay. But the tarot cards are beautiful. They have this amazing silver gilded edge. The cards themselves are a linen finish, and they have this rose petal to it. And then you have a different character from literature on the bottom of who it would go with on the tarot card. So you have the Empress, you have Lucy Westenra, the Emperor, Mr. Rochester, the Lovers, Catherine and Heathcliff. So absolutely Frankenstein's creatures, the Chariot. So it's so unique. It is in black and white. It is wispy. It is dark. It has this like eeriness to it. But overall, it is absolutely beautiful. 3 of Torches. It still follows the Rider-Waite-Smith style, but it tells a story. And this creator really did a fantastic job doing this. Fantastic job. I wish I can remember who the creator is of this deck. But I will put down the Etsy link, or no, I'm sorry, this was a Kickstarter. So I will put down the Kickstarter link down below. So then that way maybe you can check out their website, or maybe I'll just put down their website down below so then you can go straight to that page and see if this deck is finally up for pre-sale or for sale for anyone after the campaign, because I got this in quite a while ago, so I'm sure that is now available to everyone. So this is the Gothic Literature Tarot. Absolutely stunning, beautiful. It's gonna glide, even though it's a rose petal. It's a great linen textured deck. It's going to shuffle beautifully. The only thing is that the gilded edges, it is that shininess, so that is the first thing that kind of gets warped. But overall, absolutely gorgeous deck. Super, super fun. So next, we're going to go into Find Your Magic Tarot. I already did a couple walkthroughs with this deck, so I will just go really quick with this. The guidebook is pretty chunky. It is very informative. It's in color. It is so much fun. It gives me like Studio Ghibli vibes in a way, like Kiki's Delivering Service style. But I do want to let you know that this is not all with witches. There are some different magical creatures involved with this as well. So like Harry Potter style, more to say, where there are vampires and witches and warlocks and ghosts involved. So definitely there's unicorns. So there's a lot of like magic base into this deck. The cardstock is going to hold up pretty well. It is thick. It has this like semi-glossy, actually it's glossy all around. It's glossy on the back, it's glossy on the front. I hope you can kind of see the sun's kind of shining, so I hope there's not that much of a glare because it's a glossy deck. But overall, this is a pretty fun deck. It kind of gives me like Everyday Witch vibes as well. But it does follow the Rider-Waite-Smith. It does tell a story. Each thing is different, and the really cool thing about this deck is that I feel like it goes more into depth of the meanings between these decks. Like the Five of Pentacles, right? She's kind of crying here. And then if you go into the guidebook, it gives you like this really deep, meaningful description. And it's really, really cool. I think that it just gives you a complete different like mindset of the deck in its own way. I think that when you read with this deck, it's going to really give you a heart-to-heart reading with you and your querent, or with you and yourself. And that's what I really enjoy about this deck. It is a little bit more on the bigger side, but I will just kind of show you the shuffling is super, super nice. They're just a little thicker, but it shuffles like a dream. It's absolutely, it's a great deck. And definitely read through the guidebook, because it was like heart-touching, you know? It's like, oh wow, it really like touched my heart a little bit. So highly recommend that. Oh, I hate when I can't get these in because of the flip top part. Let's see. Come on. There we go. Sometimes these flip top boxes, they're so hard to get the cards back into them. This is why I usually put them into tarot bags. So this is the Find Your Magic Tarot. This is made by US Games, and it is a very, very beautiful deck. We're going to do a quick walkthrough on this one as well. So this is the Upside Down Tarot. I know I showed this into my Halloween haul, and I did do a walkthrough of this deck. So we'll go pretty quickly. But this is another Kickstarter deck that I got in. The edges are not gilded, but it has this nice matte finish, and the cardstock is beautiful. It also shuffles like a dream, which I'll show you. And I'm a hard shuffler too. But it's going to hold up. It is a thick cardstock. And this follows the upside down style. So basically what that means is that, you know, we have the world that we live in now, and then we have the upside down. If you've also watched Stranger Things, this is something that is kind of based off of that as well. So, you know, you got some bad people involved, soul suckers, ghosts, hauntings. You have some creatures involved. It is super dark. It's eerie. It's a little bit of disturbing as well. But this is a really fun deck to have. I don't think I would personally read people with this deck because it is pretty interesting and different. But it does follow the Rider-Waite-Smith. I will definitely say that. Like, there's the Empress, but there's no words, right? So you kind of just have to guess what element that we're in or what's the court that we're in. There is just a little bit, you just have the numeric number and that's it. So very interesting deck. It is unique in its own way. It's dark and eerie. If you're someone that wants to do what's the word I'm looking for? Shadow work. This would probably be a really good shadow work deck. So the PDF is on the back. So that's something that you can just scan the QR code and get to the PDF. And that's about it. That's all she wrote. It is a very cool deck. It's great to have. I don't think I'm going to read anybody with it because it's so interesting. Maybe if I want to do shadow work for myself, but this is the Upside Down Tarot. Very cool. We're going to go with a mass market deck that I have. You can easily get this. It is the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. I did a walkthrough on this too just recently for my Halloween haul, but the guidebook is in color. It gives a little bit of a description of the upright and the reverse. Not so much, but it is pretty insightful as well. And then the deck themselves is pretty awesome. The cardstock is actually pretty good for the price of what I paid. And the really cool thing is that it does follow the Rider-Waite-Smith style, but it still has great color to it. The cartoon, the pictures are clear. They're beautiful. It is completely the style of Nightmare Before Christmas. And I think that is so fun. Now, there are some things that might be just a little bit pippish as well. But then, so it's like half pip and half RWS, I would say. Because, you know, there's the 4 potions, right? So it's just very unique. I am so happy that I got my hands on it. This completely gives me my childhood's like vibes and stuff like that. I am so stoked to have this. I had to move the candle out of the way. I was making a shadow. But super fun deck. Absolutely beautiful. They also have a pop edition too. So if you're someone that collects pop, those pop toys, this is definitely, you can get that as well. But again, I got this on Amazon. It is a mass market. It was not expensive whatsoever. It is obviously teamed up with Disney because of copyright reason, so definitely keep that in mind. The backs are really fun. It is just, it's a cool deck. I'm so happy that I got my hands on it, and I have read a couple people with this deck, and they are like, "Oh my gosh, this is so fun!" So it gives a fun, nice reading. So this is the Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot Deck and Guidebook. Now next, I just did a walkthrough of this, but this is also a deck that I got in during October, literally like 2 days before October ended, and it's the Symdala Tarot. This is also from Kickstarter, but I love the box. It is a rose petal finish box. It has this nice prism inside. The cards are circular, oh my gosh, why can't I talk? They're circles. It's a circle deck. It came with a campaign if you got, if this artist reached their goal. You also were able to get a yes and no coin. And I think it's so cool. It's like there's the yes, there's the no, and there are little symbols as well of different parts of the tarot cards, and the meanings behind that in the yes and no. So it is a pretty good quality coin. It's a little bit more on the lighter. It's probably about the weight of a quarter, but super, super fun overall. The tarot guidebook itself is very informative. It's going to tell you what symbols are in the deck, the astrological of what it is, the planetary, the elements, the tree of life, quick takes on it, the definition of it. It is super, super, very, very informative. I love this guidebook very, very much. And then going with the deck itself, it is a gilded edge and it is a matte yellow. I love a good matte gild edge. And the only reason why is because they hold up very well if you bridge shuffle. And then you have the symbols. And that is a mandala style deck. But the really cool thing is like, here's the Two of Swords. And then you have like the cloud, you have like the swords all around here, right? And then you have like different parts of the Rider-Waite Smith style on the cards themselves. Like you have the armor here, you have the rock, the clouds, you have the swords for the Five of Swords. But then if you look, like the Emperor, for instance, right? We have the chair, the armor, the crown, we have the staff, we have the Rocky Mountains in the background. And then you have the meanings, the astrological of Aries, planetary Mars, element fire, tree of life, the wisdom and beauty. And then you have the activation, dominion. So there's a lot of information on these cards, and it is really, really fun to really look at. It is beautiful. Five of Pentacles, right? They're at a church. There's the window. There's the stained glass window, the bells, the Five of Pentacles, the snow. You have the crutch. And then it shows astrological, Taurus, planetary, Venus, Mercury, and Mars, elemental, Earth, tree of life. And then you have the activation, reclamation. Super informative deck. It's just really, really fun. Now, not saying this is going to be an easy deck to read, because, I mean, after a while, if you have about 6 of them, on your mat, I think that there is definitely going to be a lot going on. But really fun to have. It's a really awesome deck to have as a collectible. It's unique. If you really study this deck, I'm sure that you can read with it, and not only is the mat going to look super colorful, but it's going to be very unique if you're able to read with this deck. So that is very, very cool. Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Wands. The shuffling as well is pretty sweet. Bridge shuffling is not a thing. You can't do it with the circle deck. I've tried. It does not work. But riffle shuffle works perfectly. And you can also, I like to jumper cards. Maybe I can use this as like a confirmation deck. But like you can probably jumper card things too, jumper shuffle if you want to. But super unique deck. Love it. I think it's really, really fun. It's unique. It's different. I have the Tarot of Her, which I showed in my September haul. So this is just another circle deck to add to my collection. So absolutely love this. And it is a beautiful quality deck. So this is the Symdala Tarot. Last but not least, on the tarot side, this is a deck that I am trying to learn. I do not have the box anymore. I threw the box away, but this is by Lo Scarabeo, and this is called the Sola Busca Tarot. Now, if you don't know anything about the Sola Busca Tarot, the Sola Busca was created in Italy, and they thought that the Sola Busca was, and I want to make sure that I'm correct here. They thought that it was from the 453 AC, when they honestly found out during doing more research on the cards that they think that it began in the year of 421 AC. Very, very cool. So this is like one of the most OG decks. And that is what I'm trying to learn. Now, if you are a child, if you don't like gruesome pictures, this is definitely going, I need you to just fast forward on that button because there are some traumatic, interesting pictures here. But I want to learn this deck so badly. So the interesting thing about this deck is that the history and what they think. I mean, look at that. You have Nerone over here, Nerone. He's throwing a baby in the fire. You know, it is a very interesting deck. And so I've been reading some of the history on it, and they are showing history from the pagan situations going on. And pagan religion wasn't really a thing back then, or was it? You know, we don't know. I mean, we didn't live in 421 AC, but it is very unique because these meanings are different than the normal tarot, RWS, Thoth, Pip, Marseille. They're different because it's one of the original decks. I also want to let you know that they're saying that there are some other religious Roman Catholic symbology in here. They're also saying that there's symbology from Alexander the Great, and there's Greek mythology taking place in this deck as well. There is a lot going on in this Sola Busca tarot deck, and I am so intrigued by learning how to read with this deck that I will say that the guidebook doesn't really give you shit. It gives you a little bit of meanings for the major arcana, and then it kind of tells you like what the wands are. And then each stage of the wands, 1 through 10. But it is a 78 card tarot deck. So it is very similar to a Marseille or a Rider-Waite-Smith, but the meanings are just different. So like I'll show you like the guidebook, for instance. So you have Motto, the Fool, and it gives you an information on the major arcana. Okay, cool. Now I can learn the major arcana, right? And then you have the meanings and interpretations of the major arcana. Okay, so like the major arcana, the Fool, Motto. It doesn't matter if you are misunderstood as long as you are true to yourself. There is a holy innocence within each of us. Strive to keep it pure. And that would be the first card, which is right here. Interesting, right? There's a lot to learn about this deck. And then, so you go into the major arcana, and then it gives you this, 1 through 10. Beginning, so number 1 would be beginning, source, duality, union, complementary, creative, energy, novelty, solution. 4, stability. 4, safety. 5 is transformation and change. So that's already different, right? 5 is going to be usually about competition, or there's confliction going on, or an argument, or blah, 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 blah. Then you have the court figures, the knaves, the knights, the queen, and the king. And then you have the suits, batons, cups, coins, and swords, and what that is. And that's all you get. That's literally all you get. And then it goes into Italian. That's all you get. So there is a lot more to understand from this tarot deck. And this is the museum quality. And let me tell you, they're huge. I have big hands, and these are huge, huge cards. These are beefy cards. There's no way that a quorant is able to shuffle this unless they just put them in so many different piles and then like just stack them back up with each other. It's so funny. So the guidebook doesn't give you a lot of information. So I do want to let you know that I did find a book. It was hard to find, but I found it, and it's called the Sola Busca Tarot, an alchemical way in 78 paths. And this is all in English. I can't believe I found this. I actually found it on Amazon. There was no Prime to it. It took about, like 3 weeks to get in. But It is way more informative. You have the major arcana, right? And then we have, so then we'll just go into like the Fool, right? Trump, the motto, which is the Fool. A lot more information about it. Then you have the Panfilio. But then after the major arcanas, then we're getting into the 8 of clubs, the 9 of clubs, you know, and then it goes into detail of every single minor arcana and court cards. So I'm so happy. I just got this deck in. I'm not even joking. A couple days ago, I have not even read it yet, but I'm so stoked that this came in because I want to start being able to read the Sola Busca. And I think that Sola Busca Tarot is going to heighten the fuck out of my intuitiveness and my mediumship and, you know, taking my psychic abilities to the next level. So I'm so happy that I have this deck. And I love learning new styles and new decks. And even though Marseille's on my list, Sola Busca, Busca Tarot is number 1. So happy that I have this book. And I'm going to show you a couple other books that I got in during the month of October. I'll go pretty quickly. So this is by Mary K. Greer, and this is called the Tarot, Understanding the Tarot Court. Now, I don't know about you, but I do read tarot very well. I know the minor arcanas, I know the major arcanas, I know the court cards, but I feel as if the court cards were the ones that were added for a reason, and there's more personality, wants, needs. There's a lot more information, I think, that are in the court cards than what we know and what we see in guidebooks. So this is why I got this book. And this is literally about the court cards and the understanding of the court cards and basically taking all the court cards from the swords, the wands, the cups, the pentacles, and dissecting it one by one and giving you a really good understanding of the court cards and the real meanings, and not the real meanings, but other meanings that the court cards have. So basically I wanted this because I might know the court cards well, but I want to dissect them more and find out more information on the court cards. So if you don't know Mary K. Greer, she does a lot of rereads and illustrations and, you know, publishes for other tarot books. I know that she just did Lisa Pepez and she forwarded that. And she is a very intuitive author. She has a couple tarot decks out. They're very popular. They're mass marketed, and she has some amazing books. So I highly recommend checking out all of her books because they are very informative and they're going to take tarot and they're going to dissect it for you and then give you a better understanding of tarot. So highly recommend Mary K. Greer's books and tarot all together, and her tarot cards. Now we're going to go into, it just got released and it came into my hands. I pre-ordered this the day before it got released and it came, and I'm excited that it came, and I absolutely cannot wait to dive into it. Now, the Light Seers Tarot, I will be honest, there's a lot going on in it. I feel like some of the illustrations of the cards I do not understand the meanings of them. It is a very popular deck, but I read with it for a while, and then I was like, you know what? Wise Spell came out with a deck very similar that I felt like I connected with it more. So I started reading with Wise Spell's deck, but I'm glad that she came out with this deck. There is different card spreads, ancestral healing spreads, and then you go into the major arcana. And what I really enjoy about this is that she goes into detail of why she decided to create this deck the way that she did. The Light Seer, the Shadow Seer, and then the Justice story behind it. I think that is so fun. That is absolutely unique. And it's basically literally going to make me pick up the Light Seers deck again and go into reading this again. in reading people with the Light Seers deck and give you a better give me a better understanding of some cards that really didn't mean a lot to me. So this is a really fun deck to have. This is a really fun book to have, and I can't wait to basically brush off the dust off the deck and give it another shot and start reading with it again. Again, this is a hardcover. Very good quality for the price, I have to say. The cover is even like a rose petal finish. It has this velvet creaminess to it. Very great quality. And this is also made by Hay House. So great job, Hay House, on this book, because it is an amazing quality book. So this is the Tarot for Light Seers book. There's 2 more books, and then there's a game that I want to show you. So this is a very long haul. So if you've been with me since then, this is amazing. So we have What the Fuck is Tarot and How to Do It. This is by Busca Wintner. She is a creator of a couple decks as well, and they are very intuitive. But this book is hilarious. It basically is kind of like a memoir, but also just a book of understanding of tarot in a more modern way. What I absolutely love about this book is that she's talking about tarot, but she's telling about her life and a story and why the Fool played a part in her life. And it kind of gives you different perspectives on the tarot cards. And I think that is really, really fun. So highly recommend it. It's a very short read. I just started reading it and I'm on page 31. So it's a very short read. It goes up to like 150 pages or so. And it also has this rose petal finish. This is also mass market. I got this on Amazon, but it's a really fun book to have. And it's a really great way to be able to understand tarot in just a little bit more of a personal way. So definitely recommend this book. It's a really good read. So, a whole bunch of stacks of decks just fell. Because we've been going through a lot of decks. So, my last book that I want to show you. So this was also forwarded to Mary K. Greer. That's amazing. This is by Raina George, and this is the Essential Lenormand, the guide to precise and practical fortune telling with the Lenormand decks. When I do personal readings, I use Rider-Waite-Smith, I use a clarifier, and I use Lenormand. I understand Lenormand, but I know the basics, and I know that it goes into way more depth, just like tarot does. And so I wanted to get this, like, look at this, for instance. The whip, right? We have the future, woman or man, work. It gives you different meanings of if it was combined with other cards. It goes into so much detail, the complex meanings of birds. And, you know, I know birds means chatter. It means there might be some gossip and stuff like that, but that's all I know. Just the basics, and I want to know more. So this is a very thick book. I love Amazon dearly, you know, things come one day, but it was also not in the best condition. So I'm a little upset over that, but that's fine. I'm just very precise with my books. I like them in a good way, but holy crap, is this packed with information. And I think after reading this book, you are going to be a Lenormand master. And that is amazing. I love the Lenormand. I feel like it just gets down in the nitty gritty of understanding your reading a little bit better and giving your querent as well more information that they need to know. So this is the Essential Lenormand book, and it is very, very informative. Now, last but not least, it is not a tarot deck. It is not an oracle deck. It is not a book. It is a game. Again, I love Amazon so well. Or I love them, you know, but this box came like this. So this is called, ironically enough, the Tipsy Tarot, and it is the mystical drinking game. Now, I haven't even opened this up because it's in so much in shambles, but basically it is a tarot card drinking game for I don't know how else to explain it. I think it's hilarious. So here's the little game instructions here, but from what I'm understanding, there are tarot cards, and then each card is a drinking rule. So like you have the Drunken Destiny card, the Force. Pick 2 players to have an arm wrestle. The loser player will need to have 3 sips from the Tipsy Tarot cup. And then it comes with like these Tipsy Tarot cups. So I would probably get rid of the Tipsy Tarot, solo cups and kind of get like a goblet to make things a little bit more funnier. But overall, super fun game. I just got in. I have not read with it yet, but I just thought it was very ironic that my YouTube name, my business name, what people know me as I read tarot is as the Tipsy Tarot. If you did not know, I work at a bar, and I'm a mixologist as my full-time job, and so the Tipsy Tarot just kind of made sense for me. So really fun to have. I cannot wait to play this with some of my friends. I do have a party coming up, so maybe I will use that then. I can't even get everything back in this box. So, but this is the Tipsy Tarot. It is the mystical drinking game. I got it on Amazon. Like I said, the box came destroyed. It is also not in its very good form. It's not a well-made box either, but how fun. So this is the Tipsy Tarot drinking game. And that is all, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you got to see some very unique decks that you have never seen before. That was a huge haul for October, and I know there is going to be a lot of Kickstarter decks coming in for the month of December, so I cannot wait to share that with all of you too. Thank you for watching. Please make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe to my channel so you can stay updated on later videos. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.